Turkish citizenship by investment in 2021. Now, this is a very, very interesting topic when you're looking at all the different CBI programs around the world because most of them aren't as straightforward as Turkey. Here, it's very, very streamlined. So it's not one of these programs, in the Caribbean, these like St. Kitts and Nevis type countries where really when they say citizenship by investment, it really means citizenship by donation in the most part, or partial citizenship by investment, meaning like you're investing in property or a business or hiring people. And different countries have all different aspects. That's why it's very important to keep up to date with these different CBI programs because they're constantly changing. But with Turkey, it's pure citizenship by investment, and the minimum is 250,000 US dollars now. Along with this 250,000 US dollars, it's not just, you buy a property and you walk away with citizenship. Nothing is that easy in this world of, buying different passports, getting multiple citizenships, different residency programs, golden visas, all things that I'm very interested in and I'm going to start talking about more on this channel. So with this, you will also have around $8,000 of legal fees, I would say, in Turkey. I've been in Istanbul for about 2 months now. I'm planning to head to Izmir here in a little bit. And with this, in my time here, I've met with some bankers, some different officials, and really tried to research this. Along with the residency program, which is very, very intriguing, where really you just have to, you can buy a property, it doesn't really have to be a minimum amount. Really what you have to set up is kind of a life in Turkey. So it doesn't matter what city you're in, it's pretty straightforward. So let's say you're renting an apartment for 2 years. Well, you can apply for a residence program. And with this, typically a residence program is around a year to a year and a half, and then you can renew it from here. But that's not really the focus of this video. If you want to see more in detail about Turkey residency program, you can definitely let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to make a video on this, along with if you're interested in the Turkish banking system, let me know down below in the comments. But really to dig in more in detail, why I say this is so streamlined. Like I said in the beginning, so many of these citizenship by investment programs are really just focused on getting your money to the government. So just having a donation, whereas I think most global investors, as we talk about on this channel, are looking for, you want, if you're going to pay something, you want the asset plus the perk. In this case, the asset would be the real estate, the perk would be the passport. And with this passport, you get increased freedom. In 2020, we saw a lot of US passports being on the same level as some of the, I would say, like tier C or tier D passports in some of the, African countries, where you're so restricted to travel. And this is just looking at it objectively. Like these are just the facts. It's not an opinion. It's just the facts. I mean, I love a ton of the African countries, but it just, when you look at, okay, where are you able to travel with certain passports? Where are you able to get in and out of? What if there's like some conflict or some societal unrest, which there was in the US? If you're living in some of these bigger cities like LA or New York, I mean, you saw what happened in 2020. It was a pretty crazy year. And I think nobody could have really predicted what happened here when you start stacking on these societal unrest, and we don't know what's going to happen moving forward. So I personally think setting up second residencies where you can travel in and out of the country without really needing all these extra things. Also setting up second citizenships, third citizenship, fourth citizenships in the long-term plan is very, very important. So that's pretty much it for just kind of that framework on the streamlined passports. But for Turkey, it's pretty simple as far as when you invest in this. It doesn't take a year, 2 years to actually get your passport. Once you invest in real estate that qualifies, by the way, this real estate doesn't have to just be one property worth $250,000. You could spread it out. It could be it could be a $100,000 property, another $100,000 property, and then you could buy something else for $50,000. And we're deriving this in US dollars just because it's global reserve currency. We talk a lot about all different currencies on this channel, as well as a lot of things in the crypto space. So, ideally, 10, 20 years from now, we're not necessarily deriving things just in US dollars because, we've seen monetary stimulus go crazy over the past year, and that's a topic for another video, but it's kind of an easy benchmark to base things off of. And when you're looking at this, again, as I said, it's about 1 to 2 months after you make this initial investment. You have to understand that it's this $250,000. It can be spread out any way you want, truly. And since, real estate in Turkey is relatively cheap, I would say, depending on where you're looking at. Certain places in Istanbul, it can be a little bit more pricey if you're paying, the gringo prices, or it's like some new development that they're hyping up and has a brand name attached to it, which I would not recommend. Versus if you're looking at a kind of coastal property, places like Bodrum, Antalya, all these different very interesting cities, or places along the Black Sea. It really just depends on what you're most interested in. If you're looking to get the highest rental yields, obviously Istanbul's one of these meccas around the world for cities, modern day Constantinople. So much history here. So on top of all these things, you get to access beautiful Turkey. Turkey is an absolutely incredible country. I highly recommend you visit if you have not. Shout out to anyone who's watching this that is a Turkish citizenship already. Let me know down below in the comments if you are. But that's pretty much it for this video. I did want to touch on kind of one other thing with this. When you're looking at all these passports, when you become a citizen, yes, as far as taxes go, I know a lot of people ask about taxes. So let's say you're a US citizen or a Canadian citizen. It really just, it gets a little bit convoluted and complex. So you can reach out to me as far as if you're looking for more details in this as far as taxes go. So let's say you're a citizenship of 3 different countries and you make your, you run an e-commerce business like myself, and your really income is a global income. Well, a lot of these countries like Turkey will actually tax you on your global income. Same with the United States, but a lot of other countries do not do this. So there are a lot of other options. These are some of the countries where, yes, it's not necessarily as much citizenship by investment, but a little bit more citizenship by donation, I would classify it as, because you're essentially buying the passport. You're not investing. Like I was saying, somebody wants the asset and they get the perk with that. So the asset's the real estate, the perk is the passport. But with these countries, it's kind of like you donate, you get the passport, now you get a little bit more freedom. So if you're looking at a place like St. Kitts and Nevis, this is where it's all tailored to your personal situation. So if taxes aren't a huge liability for you, well, maybe a country that's higher taxes isn't a big issue, if this isn't your main problem. But if you're looking to lower taxes legally, like if you're a crypto investor that's made a lot of capital gains in the cryptocurrencies, and it is a taxable event if you're trading even in between cryptocurrencies. So like if you're trading from Bitcoin to Ethereum, this is a taxable event and you have to report it. This is where something like St. Kitts and Nevis would be an interesting option because you're not taxed on global income. The taxes are extremely low. Places like Panama, where you don't even get taxed on crypto to crypto transactions. So there's a lot of different interesting options out here. This can be a long conversation, but I'm going to just kind of keep it at that. Again, just to kind of recap, $250, I would say around $7,000 to $8,000 in legal fees, typically fairly streamlined process in 1 to 3 months, and especially when you compare and contrast it to these other CBI programs, which really should be CBD. But citizenship by donation. Anyways, that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe button all, invest global, and until next time.